Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name is Mike Amos. His name is Bill Rice Jr. and we're starting a Thursday on this show as we head into the weekend. And of course it's rained, and you know what? I don't know if we can get enough rain. It has really been, the farmers got to be doing dances. They're so happy.
My grass was dying. I don't know what's happened to it. It was brown and then black in parts of it. And thank you to Dwayne Webb for cutting my grass. But now this will maybe save it.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you can tell the difference, and everybody's happy. It's graduation day for Charles Henderson High School and graduation night for Pike County High School. So I know those kids are excited.
Wow, yeah. This is the last day of school. Last day, our
Yes,
kids got to get up early. They were sleeping too late when I left. I said, "Y'all get up. You're gonna be late on the last day of school." But
They didn't go to school today, did they?
Yeah, they got to go to school. Not full day though. I mean, they get out at like 12:30 or 1. But Maggie will be through with fourth grade. I told her, I said, Maggie, this is the last day you are ever going to be a fourth grader. Savor it.
You're right.
Jack, this is the last day you're ever going to be a kindergartner. Savor it.
So of course we got
and then all the school kids are out at Troy Elementary, as Teresa Sims, the principal, keeps telling us that these awards days. School will start back on Tuesday, August 9th.
All right, we need to mark that down.
That's early, isn't it? We didn't start school on August 9th.
Way too early, gosh.
But so it won't be long, so they'll be out, well, let's see, June, all of July, and 8 days of August. So
Did you know
68 days.
when I was growing up, did you know we didn't even think about going home for the summer until after August, and then we had till September the 1st. You know, that's when we went back to school, September the 1st, Labor Day.
Yeah, that was it.
Or not? Was it Labor Day? Or
I think it is Labor Day.
And quite a deal for summer. And of course, we had a Little League parade, and that was after August the 1st. And
football games would start back in September, and football practice always started at the beginning of August.
That's right.
3 or 4 weeks before school. So now, you were practicing football 2 times a day before school started. So Jeff Coat had us all to himself.
Well, I want to throw in this that Troy's Sunbelt Conference baseball tournament schedule is now been rescheduled for Friday. Fans will have to wait for the extra 2 days for Troy's Sunbelt Conference opener against Coastal Carolina, as severe weather in the state has postponed actions, all of Wednesday's actions, and Thursday's action. So after a meeting of conference officials and coaches vote, it was decided that the tournament would be moved forward following a single elimination format beginning Friday at Riverwalk Stadium. Troy and Coastal Carolina, hear this, Rice, will kick off the newly rematted tournament at 6 a.m. in the morning on Friday. The winner will go on to the semifinals and play Saturday against the winner of Appalachian State and Georgia Southern. So,
and you say, all right, so this is very interesting.
Yeah.
Pushed back by 2 days, and it's all single elimination. No more of this double elimination.
Right. And I don't know.
So you lose, you're out.
And you know, I was always excited about getting to see Troy play at least 2 more games.
Yeah, but now maybe one.
And now, you know, they won't even get started. Well, they had some earlier games.
And I have never heard of a baseball game starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. Is that a typo, or did you
no, it's not 6. Did I say 6?
You said 6 a.m. Did you mean 6 p.m.?
Gosh, no, I meant 9 a.m.
9 a.m., okay.
What am I talking about? Correct me when I'm wrong.
Okay, well, 9 a.m. is still pretty early.
It's real early, especially when you got to do a show and then you got to get on up there, and that's what I'm going to try to do on Friday. Troy had added a former Georgia State guard, Nelson Phillips, to their roster. Again, what they call it?
The Portal.
The Portal reaps in here and grabs a player, and he's going to go to Troy. It says here that Georgia State head coach Troy's men's basketball program brings in a Nelson Phillips from defending the Sunbelt Conference champions Georgia State. The head coach Scott Cross, he announced that on Wednesday. And he's 6'8" guard that can fill it up.
6'8" guard?
No, excuse me, 6'3" guard, 6'3", 180-pound guard, and he is the first of 3 seasons at Georgia State, and now he's going to play for Troy.
Really?
One good thing. He's 44% shooter from the arc, the three-point play.
That's what Troy needs more than anything. How many times do we go to a game and say, Troy, if Coach Cross's son from Untitled Chapter was just over there shooting three-pointers?
Last season, the Georgia native played in 22 games and shot 44% from the three-point line. That was not bad. And Troy needed that guy, and they're going to get him.
Well, good pickup.
I think this will be his last season as a senior, and but we got players. We got to have players that can help us right now.
Steve gave us the area teams for Untitled Chapter's new area now that they're joining the Alabama High School Athletic Association. This is in baseball. And I assume it'd be in basketball and football at some point. Although football next year they can't play area football. Anyway, in Area 5, 2A next year, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. They are Goshen High School, Highland Home High School, Luverne High School, Untitled School.
He's in there with the big boys now.
And in Zion Chapel High School.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too.
Pike's in there with Goshen, Highland Home, and Luverne, and Zion Chapel.
All right, give them back to me one more time now. This is
what
we'll be looking forward to.
I'll go backwards.
All right.
5 teams. So I guess I don't know how many teams would make the playoffs. You'd have to finish in the top 2 or 3 in this group.
Yeah, but let's just see who's in the bracket.
Zion Chapel High School.
Zion.
That's about what, 20 miles from Untitled?
Yes, sir.
Untitled High School, which is 0 miles from Untitled High School.
Arts, right, school.
Luverne High School.
Luverne.
Which is 25 miles, 29
exactly right.
from Untitled High School. Well, more than that, but about 25 or 30 miles from Troy.
Yep.
Highland Home High School. How far is Highland Home from Troy?
Highland Home, I would say about 30 miles, and Luverne about 20 miles.
Okay. And Goshen High School.
Goshen High School is about 10 miles.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. I think that is a fantastic area.
I've counted just 5, counting Pike.
A lot of these other areas have 4 teams in them, but a couple of them have 5, and Pike's area has 5 teams.
Okay, 5. All right. Now let's see here on that other page you got. It tells you about where we. What's the deal there? Baseball.
I don't know what this shows. This shows all the teams by area.
Yeah. But one thing about it, all right, we know Goshen's going to be a rival. Now Highland Home, they play their football in a ditch, they call it and they coming off their best season maybe in their history.
I see what they're doing is they're showing the clusters of the areas,
That's
how
right.
close. So that's all the teams that are in Pike's area.
Isn't that wonderful?
And that's the other area, and then up there you can see. So basically, the AHSA has done a good job of getting area opponents that are in your area.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, you know, Zion Chapel is going to be a big rivalry. In fact, they get players back and forth from each other all the time.
Well, I think Pike Lodge should win the area in baseball. Football, they're going to have to step it up if they're going to beat Luverne, Highland Home, Goshen in some years. Basketball, they should be competitive.
Well, now again, we're talking about 2A. Now, Luverne, Highland, not Highland Home, but let's see, the Titletown, Brantley, they're in a different bracket. They're a 1A team.
They're 1A, I think.
But we'd be probably playing them, don't you think? Just
yeah.
in the regular season.
Yeah.
You have a.
Well, you can play. You've got to play. Here's the deal: you got to play all your area teams X number of times. In baseball, it's probably twice, right?
Yep.
In football, it would be
same
one
way.
time. In basketball, it would be probably twice.
That's right.
But then you can schedule anybody else, anybody you
Now,
want.
this is where
This is
you might play Arrington, in a regular season game, and also well, let's see.
I'd play Titletown, Brantley. I'd play Arrington.
Yeah.
I'd play Elba.
Yeah, Elba would be a good one.
I would play Charles Henderson in baseball and for sure, maybe not in football and basketball.
Yeah. Of course, we've already seen, Pike Liberal has already come out with their football schedule, and this year, because of their new, they will not play their regular schedule.
Here's the deal, per our Billy Hickson and our Pike Watch sources. Pike cannot play in the playoffs in football the next 2 years, I think.
That's right.
They still can play football. They can't compete for a state championship football, which really they weren't going to win state championship football in that anyway. But they've still got a awesome schedule. I mean, Coach Hickson, Rush Hickson, did a fantastic job of going and getting games with teams from Florida, Georgia. I think Catholic High School in Montgomery.
Yeah,
I mean,
we need to stay away from them.
I know it.
Now, I like playing, especially playing Arrington would be a very good rivalry. And,
well, I think after this year was challenging schedule-wise, but next year will be easier. And then 2 years from now, I would assume that these teams I just named will be the same. It'll be the same area. That's going to save Pike a lot of driving. It's going to increase the crowds
no question.
a lot. These are all. Every one of these are potential rival games. I think
exactly, and it's especially Zion Chapel and against Pike, and Luverne against Pike, Goshen against Pike.
Highland Home?
Highland Home.
The Flying Squadron?
They're a little bit down the road.
Where are you going to eat when you go to Highland Home?
It don't matter.
It don't matter where you eat in Highland Home.
It don't matter. The restaurant.
When you go to Highland Home to eat, it don't matter. Guten Morgen.
Morning.
Was that your Milo's tea?
Was that a big old swallow of Milo's tea then that we heard?
Yeah, that was right between the Milo's tea swallow.
Well,
Mike and I are trying to get the girls out the door for the last time this year.
Hey, that's us too. Last day of school. Congratulations.
They do have to go one more time?
Yeah, we go today, and then we do aftercare one more day today. So.
All right, Michael, I'm going to name some schools, and I want you to tell me what they have in common. All right?
Okay.
Zion Chapel, Pike Liberal Arts, Luverne, Highland Home, Goshen.
They're all 2A?
They're all 2A,
right.
That's correct.
And they're in the same area.
They're
with
going
each
to be
other.
in the same area in the future.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw where the great Cornelius Griffin is coming home. He's now assistant coach at Pike County High School. So
oh boy, yeah.
Cornelius will do a great job at Pike County, and expect a lot of these players to stay at Pike County with Cornelius and the new coaching staff.
Who is the new head coach?
He's a former player.
Coach Hurt.
Yeah, former player.
Mark
that,
Hurt.
I think played in the '80s and then coached down in Mobile and coached in Valdosta, Georgia. He's got a really good resume.
It's Mark Hurt, and he's a very well-known coach, player at Pike County High School, and I'm sure he and.
Well, we had a little bird that told us some of Pike Liberal Arts football players that had come from Brundage are going back to Brundage.
I've heard that.
Yeah, well, you would think that. I mean, I imagine Cornelius was the kind of the reason they came to Pike Liberal Arts. He was, a legendary figure in Pike County football, so not too surprising. I mean, I'll be honest. I like to live in a world where Pike County football is dominant, like we're used to. So I'm not used to Pike County having losing records.
Yeah.
Guess who's going to be on our show today? Y'all want to guess?
Who?
Coach Charles Tennyson, head football coach.
Quinn.
Coach Hambright?
Quinn Hambright.
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 Y'all got it pronounced?
Write it down.
Hambright.
Ham like a ham sandwich.
Hambright. And he's going to be our guest today. If he, of course, on the last day of school.
Y'all getting all this miserable weather we've been getting?
Yeah, well, we got it pretty bad until last night. It cooled off. It was not as bad last night as we thought it was going to be.
We had a water spout come ashore in Graydon State Park yesterday, which turns into like a little mini tornado. I talked to my daughter and my daughter's teacher. My daughter, Mary Prater, was in the hallways yesterday doing a tornado protocol.
Oh, really? God.
Put their head against the wall. Of course, tragic, thing, I mean,
I don't even want to mention.
I've ever seen going on in Texas right now.
I don't even want to mention. I don't want to even think about it.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing.
It's life, the life we live. Unfortunately, I have to think about it having two little kids. Bryce has to think about it. He's got little kids. I mean, it's just.
Well.
I don't know where God is, and I don't know where parents are in this world anymore.
Wait a minute. You don't know where God is?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I don't know people.
That's why I don't want to talk about it. Hey.
Don't have God in their lives and parents that care. I mean, it's just absolutely awful.
God is still in our hearts and is there with us in every step we make.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of evil in this world.
Yes, sir. But God's gonna.
I love watching Tucker Carlson's show on Fox. He's real smart, and he made a good point. And Mike's kind of alluding to it. Is there's a lot of mental illness, or people that are dealing with devils and mental illness, and I think that's gotten worse. Since the COVID and the lockdowns. Well, studies say it has. So that there are people that are they're off. They need help. And as long as you got such people, you're going to have events like this take place.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you just got to have security at every event now. I mean, churches have got to have security. Schools have got to have extra security. I mean, it's just one of those things that's just got to be. It's just got to be in place.
Well, I think starting right now. I think starting right now there should be security at every school building in the state of Alabama.
Well, they said on Tucker's show that's what everybody thinks, but somebody said there were 69,000 schools in America.
69,000.
All right. So then, how many doors are there that you could get into those schools?
Right. Yeah.
At Charles Simpson High School, it would be no way you could secure it. So if you got one guy, one police officer on every door, or even if there was a police officer on campus, somebody gets in one classroom by the time the police officer gets there, it's a couple of minutes have passed, and that's all a terrible shooter needs. So I'm not sure that, I don't think you can. I don't think you can put a police officer in every school and think that that's going to.
Well, I think
it's just like the day that happened. My daughter had a kindergarten graduation, and we were in a building, a huge new elementary school, Dean Lakes Elementary down here, and there's probably 1,000 people in there. I mean, there was 275 kids graduating kindergarten, and I looked around. I couldn't find a sheriff. I couldn't find anybody. And then my wife and I were talking later, and then I talked to a buddy of mine the next day because we were discussing all about what's going on because we all have little kids. And he said, Michael, you didn't have anything to worry about. He said, I swear there was 100 guys in there at least that had their own weapon.
That's good too,
And that's really in the world you live in, because you can carry a weapon.
Well, nobody would go attack people at an event like that because there would be 100 people that were.
Well, what are you saying? You're saying that people could carry weapons in a public place? I don't think that should be law.
Certain states allow it. I'm not saying they can have it in the open, but I'm just saying they have it on their person.
Well, there's one thing you can do, in which schools do. Coach Hambright's here, and I know from going to Troy Elementary and the kindergarten school, you secure entryways and make it tough for people to get in the school, and they do that. I mean, you got to knock or ring a bell, so it's hard to. That's good, and I understand that could help. Yeah. But in this situation, they said that a back door was left open. That probably should not have been left open. Yeah. They said that people might have been vaping or smoking or who knows what. They just a kid sneaks out and doesn't close the door behind them.
All right.
Troy baseball died. Their baseball tournament's gotten flipped upside down up in Montgomery. They're not going to play until tomorrow. It's now going to be single elimination in the Sunbelt tournament. Johnny Williams, bless his heart, I love him to death, but he's had a mess from all this weather.
Yeah.
Have to deal with all this
and I wonder.
So now the Sunbelt tournament will only be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only be single elimination.
Yeah. And hopefully Troy could upset Coastal Carolina tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock and move on. Hopefully.
That's really Troy's best chance. Really, the less games Troy plays, the better they have a chance with their pitching staff. So it's actually in Troy's favor.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
Yeah, and also a one-game series with your number one pitcher going against Coastal Carolina, you might have a shot. Yeah.
We've got Quinn Hambright in our audience now, and we're going to talk to him and about the big victory over Robert E. Lee this past Friday night at the stadium. We'll be talking to Coach Hambright in just right after this.
Come on in here, Coach.
Let's see if we can get off the air first. Coach Hambright, wait a minute. Let's go, guys.
Coach Hambright will be with us after the commercial.
We don't have anybody upstairs, so come on up. We're laid back.
Yep. Who cares?
Did he see you?
Come on, hop on in here. We don't care.
This is laid back. Mayday! Hurry to get amazing deals. New Rams, we got them. New Jeeps, we got them. And more coming. Our Mayday sale. Huge savings. And 0% APR in soon. Shop at PremierTrade.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
You guys are here early.
The text said you were bringing McDonald's.
Should we get right into it?
Nick, there's hot food present.
Mix and match chicken McGriddles or a savory sausage biscuit. Choose any two for $3. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. What's the latest buzz? It's Ford's tough lineup of trucks. Get great offers on the trucks people are talking about. Like Ford F-150, a true workhorse with the capability to haul or tow more than ever. And the powerful Ford Ranger, where hustle meets muscle. Don't wait. Find out what all the buzz is about at your local Ford dealer. Now get 2.9% financing for 60 months on F-150, plus military, first responders, and medical professionals receive $1,000 exclusive cash.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy. All at cost plus 10%.
We're blowing away high prices. Use Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford. We got them. And they're all marked down. Over 120 to choose from. Bring home $350 a week and you can be approved. Shop PremierTroy.com or come see us. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Back to our show, and laid-back television at its very best. As Coach Quinn Hambright has joined us, the head football coach at Charles Henderson High School. The reason he got such a big smile on his face, his team has just got through beating 7A ranked or 7A Robert E. Lee High School of Montgomery in a showdown at the stadium this past Friday night. Coach, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
And Mike Amos along with Bill Rice and Coach Hambright. And Coach, tell us what happened.
I challenged the guys to come out, play physical, play strong, play fast, and compete. My biggest word this entire spring was, compete. If you compete, you give yourself a chance to win the game. And in spring, we keep scoreboard for a reason, for the wins and losses. But for us, it was more so how are we going to compete against a big, physical, tough, fast league program, and we did a pretty good job with that. We talk about individual performances, but it's amazing that you've been able to bring your guys around, even as upcoming a guy coming from the 9th grade to be a sophomore at Charles Henderson. It doesn't seem it matters. You can't hardly tell the difference in the young players and the guys that have been there. Yeah, our young players are actually bigger than our older guys.
We're going to keep talking.
My JV offensive line is going to be bigger than my varsity offensive line.
Excuse a second. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A.
Hey, my name's Will Matthews. How y'all doing this morning?
Good, doing fine. We're talking to Charles Henderson head football coach Quinn Hambright. He's coming off of a big win over Robert E. Lee High School of Montgomery last Friday night in the stadium. A tremendous victory and a great working. I reckon you can say is going
a building block kind of.
It's going to be a building block for
definitely.
the Trojans.
It is. It really is.
Coach.
I didn't get to watch the game, Coach. Who played well for you?
Well, everybody really showed up to play well. From offensive standpoint, we got off pretty fast. Our running back Zach Coleman, he was, carrying that rock and he was running hard, physical. He was pounding through people. That's what I wanted to see out of my up and coming junior. He's 215 pounds, squats 515 pounds.
I know it's just amazing how he was able to break tackles.
Yeah.
So what's he going to be next year?
He's going to be a junior.
So he's only going to be a junior. Wow.
Yeah. So he's coming back. I have him for 2 more years. Parker Adams, of course. He set the tone. Throwing good balls. Making sure that the offense ran smoothly. Jawan Boyd, of course, he had 130 yards. With 3 touchdowns on 8 catches, and he didn't play in third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was in the first half. He did all that. I've seen a lot of young men play the game here at Charles Henderson High School, and of course, the name I remember more than anything was John Johnson, who later on played at Troy University. He was a great receiver. I compare this guy with John Johnson, Mike, already.
Yeah, he's one of those kids to where if you get the ball in his hands, you're looking for a show.
Yeah.
If the ball's in the air, I don't care if it's triple coverage. I trust that he will come down with the ball.
One time, and this is a sign of a great receiver. They were all about at the 5-yard line, and the pass was in the air. And there are 3 guys, 2 of them are their guys, and 1 of them was our guy. And you say, well, they'll bat it away. Well, what he did, he not only did not went up in the air to catch the football, but he came down and then gave himself another 5 yards and he caught it for the touchdown.
Right.
He went up, down, and then caught it for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete. You know, he's one of the best I've seen and coached for sure.
Yeah. One
of the best I've seen and coached. And I've coached for
So
10
as far
years.
as Parker Adams, it looks like the development, playing as a 10th grader last year and now going into his junior year, I mean, he looks like he's got a chance to be one of the better quarterbacks in the area.
Yeah, he will be. He will be. Parker, he understands the game. He's smart. He can come to the sideline and let you know what he sees from sideline to sideline. Well, coach, that safety's coming down hard on the run. If we, we play action real hard, run the post across the middle, it's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
We come back and do it, touchdown. So, he's a kid that we can ask him questions, what he sees on the field, how he feels on the game. And he had 25 passes in the game. But out of those 25 passes, maybe 15 of them were RPOs. So he only threw the ball. We only called probably 10 passing plays. But he reads the defense so well that I think he passed for 184 yards in the first half.
Anybody's wondering what RPO means? That's run, pass, option.
Yeah. He has the option to give it, he has the option to pass it, and he has the option to run it. So, he did an exceptional job, reading the defense and making the right reads.
How big is Parker?
Parker's about 5'11", 6 foot, about 170.
And he's still growing, don't you think?
Yeah, Parker, he has some growing to do. His body frame is catching up with him. He's getting bigger. He's attacking the weight room like he should.
All right, we're gonna
somebody will have to drop off.
We're gonna bring him in. That's the new caller, and let's bring him in.
Good morning. You're on Today in L.A.
Hi, honey.
Hey.
Look in your pocket.
Uh-oh.
Do you have my key?
Why would I do that?
Yeah, why would you? Why
hey, Coach Hambright's on the show.
Hey, Miss Rice, how you doing?
I know. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Oh, boy.
Look, everybody.
Uh-oh.
So y'all are going to be late for school, huh?
Hey, we'll wait for you. Just keep talking about Parker. I love Parker.
He is a fine young man.
Hey, well, tell everybody what's going on in when's graduation today?
Graduation is, I don't know. I got to be there at 9:30. That's all I know.
Okay.
But I'm real excited, and it's going to be beautiful in the arena. Troy is so nice to let us use it. And I love football, and
you got to be what? You got to be what? You got to be what in your pocket?
I got to what?
When you're passing the ball, you got to be blank in the pocket.
Oh, honey, you got to be real secure and ready in that pocket, honey.
You got to be secure in the pocket.
Yeah.
You got to be good in your pocket.
Well,
secure.
this is not the first time he's forgot to give you the car keys, so he's going to get out of here.
It's just a little. When I go and get my wallet and my keys, I grab everything that's up there in the safe spot. These are often there, and so I just I don't even know I'm grabbing them, and I grab them.
Okay, all right, good.
I'll see you. I'll see you soon, honey.
Get us all those three guys back.
All right. Sorry.
All right, back
y'all
down the road.
Y'all have a good conversation.
Of course, Rice has to.
Mayday! Hurry to get amazing deals. New Ram, we got them. New Jeep, we got them. And more coming. Our Mayday sale. Huge savings. And 0% APR in soon. Shop at PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
You guys are here early.
The text said you were bringing McDonald's.
Should we get right into it?
Nick, there's hot food present.
Mix and match chicken McGriddles or a savory sausage biscuit. Choose any two for $3. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What's the latest buzz? It's Ford's tough lineup of trucks. Get great offers on the trucks people are talking about. Like Ford F-150, a true workhorse with the capability to haul or tow more than ever. And the powerful Ford Ranger, where hustle meets muscle. Don't wait. Find out what all the buzz is about at your local Ford dealer. Now get 2.9% financing for 60 months on F-150, plus military, first responders, and medical professionals receive $1,000 exclusive cash.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
We're blowing away high prices. Use Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford. We got them. And they're all marked down. Over 120 to choose from. Bring home $350 a week and you can be approved. Shop PremierTroy.com or come see us. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Back to our show, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. And of course, remember, there's no deal like a Premier deal. Nobody can beat a Premier deal right here in Troy, Alabama. Of course, Coach Quinn Hambright, this is your second year at Charles Henderson High School, and
yes, sir.
And you went through a sort of a dismal season last year, but you kept telling us every time you come on the show that you've got some young talent, and you proved that against Lee. Yeah, we even on the defensive side of the ball, I gave accolades to that offensive side of the ball, but Damian Hart played well. Zion Grady, he got held a lot, but he made plays. Quay Grimes is a 9th grader that didn't play last year, up-and-coming 10th grader. Yeah. He was number 5. Okay, and, he played exceptionally well. Corners, they were young. I had 2 freshmen out there. Khalil Carson is a senior. He played a little bit at corner, but they scored on one of my freshmen. He kind of had his head down, but I made sure the kids knew that. Look, you see your teammate over there. He's by himself with his head down. Y'all need to go over there and give him some uplift, and they did that. So I'm just the family part of football is what we miss. If you like each other on the football field, you're going to play a little bit harder for each other, for those players. So well, everything was positive.
How's your new defense coordinator doing?
He's doing an exceptional job. He relieves me of a lot of stressors that I had last year. Mike, do you know he was a defensive coordinator at Greenville last year? This guy's is well known in the coaching circles around here. Yeah, he's and he was at Park Crossing before with Angelo Wheeler, who's our assistant principal. Yeah, that's right. So he knows what he's doing. And it gives me an opportunity to oversee the entire game. Yeah. I don't have to come on the sideline to gather the defense while the offense is on the field. I can manage the game way much more, with him being out there. I'll tell you this.
What are y'all running on defense? Y'all 3-4 or 4-3?
Multiple, a little bit of both. Offenses, and I tell coaches this and everybody, offenses, what they do, they'll have 15 formations and 4 plays.
The plane came off.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Will, we're on the air. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, if you don't mind.
I dropped my phone and almost had a wreck.
Oh, boy, bless your heart.
That would have been a first.
Uh-oh.
Well, being on our show isn't working in a wreck.
Yeah. I know it. But yeah, we multiple on defense. We have the athletes to go 4-man down and have a 3-man down and have the same crew on the football field. So, we have guys that can play multiple positions, and mostly in the game we were in a 3-4 type deal. Odd front, if you got 3 men that can stop the run up front with 4 linebackers that can fill those gaps, you got yourself a pretty good football team. Sure, no question about it. And I thought that you had some depth. It looked like you had some kids, that could play both ways and provided some depth. Definitely, we're on the verge of trying to have one-way guys, but there are some guys that are that need to be on the field. One of those guys, Jawan Boyd, Zamir Caffey. Those are 2 names off the top of my head. Will Templer for the most part as well. Khalil Carson. Those guys need to be on the field. But we have some young talent that, if we need to start 2-way guys, we will and we can. Well, I tell you what, I was very impressed with everything about the game. The fans, the band was out there, all the cheerleaders. Boy, we got a great group of cheerleaders and a lot of people there to support the Trojans, their mamas and their daddies and their aunts and their uncles. I thought it was a real great atmosphere for football, and and most of the kids that I saw, they had either orange jersey on or orange T-shirt on, and it was really a positive event for Charleston High School, and that's one thing I think you're bringing some class to this program.
Yeah, and that's the goal. You know, I pride myself on, you know, making sure that our kids, you know, do what they're supposed to do on and off the field, and you know. Mr. Willis said all the time, presentation rule the nation. So if you look the part, you know, if you carry yourself well, you know, I tell the kids, you know, every day is an interview. You know, no soldier goes to war with different uniforms on. So we're going to look alike on the football field. We're going to look alike in the classroom, and you're going to know, you know, who's a Charles Henderson High School football player is, you know, just by their demeanor.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I really do.
So, what's the schedule? You give the kids about a week off, and then start getting ready again in June, I guess.
Definitely.
Just helmets and shorts.
Definitely. So we're this week, you know, we're off. You know, I gave them some time off from Coach Hambright. You know, but
just a week, is that all they get?
Yeah, we got to get at it, man. We got to get at it. So next week, of course, Monday, holiday. We'll be back Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday morning, and.
But now you can't go on the field with them, though, can you?
Yes.
You can, starting next week?
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah,
next week.
June 1st, you can get on the field, though.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, so June, we'll be out there.
So as far as your strength and conditioning program, as far as lifting and stuff like that, do you handle all that as well, or do you have somebody else that does that?
Yes, I do.
He does it. If you're around him, he looks like Hercules. But you know, I told him, I said, Coach, you look like Robin Hood, but you hit like James.
No, you look like Tarzan.
Yeah, you look like Tarzan. What did I say? You look like Tarzan.
Look like Robin Hood. I've never heard that one.
No.
Yeah. So I was. If I did anything in high school, it was hit pretty hard.
Yeah, no question.
I went very fast.
How many kids do you have going into next year that are on college teams' radars already? I mean, I've been seeing a lot of stuff posted. I mean, do you have 5 or 6 guys that can play at the next level on this team next year, probably?
If we're talking that senior class, I have about 5, 6. If you're talking, you know, holistically, we're looking at a ton. We're looking at a lot. You know, that senior class has a lot of talent in it. Those that up and coming sophomore and junior class, that class is the class that a lot of colleges are harping on because of their stats, because of what they're doing. That senior class that I have now, their time is coming and they're going to get those scholarships. Coaches love, you know, Damian Hart. You know, they don't know about Stephon Mosley, but they will. Khalil Carson is a kid. Even Philip Scott, you know, one of the biggest athletes. You know, he's about 285 pounds and can jump.
Hey, Michael, let me tell you, the kid he was talking about the other day is you remember the Dunn boys? You remember the Dunns?
I know Ben Dunn.
All right, you know, this is Ben Dunn's grandson. What's his name?
No, this is Ben Dunn's son.
Oh, Ben Dunn's son. Is that right?
Benton. Yeah, Benton is he's a pit bull out there. You know, if Benton really attacks that weight room, there was one play he took the rivalry league player like the blind side. I'm pretty sure y'all seen the blind side before.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he carried that kid for 15 yards down the field and just completely laid on top of
Mike,
him.
he's worked so hard. He has become a potential college prospect as a center. He plays center for Charles Henderson.
His dad was about 6'4", about 290.
I know, you're right. That's right.
So he's definitely going to be a college.
I mean, you know, Coach Hambright knows what talent is. You know, they had a football factory come out of Carver. When you're at Carver, how many guys signed Division I? I know Alabama got 3 linebackers out there, didn't they?
Yeah, they we signed a lot. We signed when I was at
you
Carver.
You coached those linebackers, didn't you?
Yep. Mac Wilson, Sean Dion Hamilton, both of those kids. Both of them are in the NFL right now. Dion, I think he's still with Detroit Lions, and Mac got traded to the Patriots.
Did they ever come and say, let's ride down the road and see Coach Hambrough?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, those kids.
They're your guys, aren't
they? They're my guys, man. I love them to death. They Dion, when I got the job, this job, Dion texted me and said, Coach, in about 3 or 4 years, I'm gonna come down and be your defense coordinator. I was like, Dion, if you do that, man, you'll ruffle some feathers down here. Some people will love me to death. They probably never let me go if I bring you down here.
He's got to be one of the most beloved linebackers ever at Alabama, especially when he blew out his knee. That just crushed everybody.
Yeah,
but he was able to go make it in the pros after that.
Right, he's a kid of resilience. He's one of the smartest the smartest football player I've ever been around in my life. We really didn't have to call plays. Dion was out there doing every single thing, and he was valedictorian in high school. He graduated from Alabama in 4 years with his master's.
Yeah. Well, one name mentioned, Mike, and he's only a junior, will only be a junior. His last name is Boyd. And I'm sure there are coaches all over the college ranks saying, have you heard about this guy named Boyd at Charles Henderson High School? They say he's only a junior.
He's Jawan is a kid. I love him to death. He's a playmaker for me. He works hard. He's not a ego guy. He knows he's good, but I like to give kids a dose of humble pie every now and then, but I don't have to do that with him a lot.
All right, but of course
is he a legit 4.5? How fast is he?
He's a high 4.5, low 4.6 type kid.
He's not a blazer.
He's
not a blazer. He just goes up and gets it.
He's a possession receiver.
So I mean, is he like around 6'1", 6'2"? How tall is he?
No, Jawan's about 5'11".
Yeah, but he's growing now, Mike. He's just going into his sophomore or junior year.
Yeah, Jawan's about 5'11". He has extra, his gloves are extra large. He has a 13 size shoe, so I would hope that he has about 3 or 4 more inches left.
Somebody told me he's an All-American type basketball player. They say he's a great basketball player.
And he can.
And plays center field in baseball. Yeah. He's a great all-around athlete.
Yeah, who do y'all open up with, Coach?
Pike County, Jamboree.
That'll be a big one.
Yeah, we have Pike County and Jamboree, and Coach Hurt over there. He's doing an exceptional job. I know he come from Lowndes County. He's actually my frat brother as well, and I trust that he will bring that program to where it was when he was there and where it was when I was in high school.
Well, we're going to beat him every year.
Yeah, I love him to death until that day. And the first game of the season is Merritt Montgomery, 7A out of Mobile. That'll be the first official game.
That one, do you know where they play that game?
Will they travel to Troy, or we all travel to Mobile?
Oh no, they're coming here both years.
Okay, great.
That's good.
Yeah, they're coming here, so we start the season off with them. And I always say this everywhere I go. There are 3 goals when you start a season. It's win the first game, win the region, and win the playoffs. You win the first game, you set the tone. You win the region, you're number 1 in your region. You're playing the 4th seed out of the other region. And if you win the playoffs, then you're in the state championship. Yeah.
Of course, give us your region. Who's some of the teams?
Well, in our region, we have Greenville, we have Rehoboth, Hetland, Carroll. Carroll Ozark, and the team out of
Rehoboth. You mentioned Rehoboth.
Eufaula.
Yeah, Eufaula.
Yeah, Eufaula was added to our region.
We're trying to figure out who Eufaula's new head coach is going to be. Coach Ed Rigby has left. Now the new head coach at Pike Road.
Yeah.
So we don't know who the new head coach is at Eufaula.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
The former wide receiver at Troy should be the next head coach. What do you think?
Yeah, Jarrell Jernigan could be the next head coach.
Really? Over at Carroll?
No,
Eufaula, really?
Eufaula, yeah.
Oh, wow.
He could be, because he's next in line there.
Oh, yeah, Jernigan. He was a heck of a football player.
Then we got another guy, one of our own guys, used to coach at Charles Henderson, Mike.
I
would think also would be in the running, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, Rodney. Jordan.
Rodney Jordan, yeah. Rodney Jordan, who hailed out of Goshen, went to Troy, was a great player, and then coached at Charlton for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing about you following, Coach. When you play them, you know they got a lot of talent.
Yeah, you know,
a talented program, always has been.
Always have been. You know, that's a team that, you know, they were in my region at Carver. I actually, it was insane how everything was going. Ed Rigby was probably going to be the guy that I've had the most games against, because I was the head coach at Central Hayneville when he was at Elba, and coached against him, and then he got the job at Eufaula. I went to Carver, coached against him again, and then it's crazy now how Eufaula was coming down, and I would have coached against him again for you know, for in our region. So, but he's a heck of a coach, and he knows exactly what he's doing to change to continue to that tradition at Pike County. I mean at Pike Road.
I tell you, your schedule's going to be tough, but you know what? When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go. You know, we don't shy away from any type of competition. That's why I played Lee High School this spring. You know, I wanted them to get that feel of, it doesn't matter who's in front of you. You know, you play football. 11. I don't care how many people, 5 stars they have on defense and on offense. There are 11 people that are going to be on the field at the same time.
You know, the Lee coach, I don't know his name, but somebody told me he made a comment to you about your team. What did he say?
Yeah, he told me that he said, Coach, man, well, number one, he said he was young. He had a lot of his quarterback, everybody was young. But number two, he said, Coach, man, I'm so happy that running back was running through our guys, Coach. We were skipping them reps in the weight room, Coach. And I was like, look, I said, well, one thing about Zach Hogan, he's not going to skip a rep at all. You know, he skips 0 reps in the weight room. He's one kid that if I turn my back, he's going to finish every single rep.
You know, and they said that he said, I didn't think y'all were going to be so good so soon.
Yeah, he's well, you know, he didn't tell me that, but you know, he did say that he was impressed with, you know, how we played and stuff like that, because, you know, a lot of people didn't expect us, you know, to come out and perform the way we did, you know, but I have confidence in my guys, you know, and it's day by day, you know. Slow motion is better than no motion, you know. So even if we're taking those baby steps, you know, we're going in the right direction. As long as we're not stagnated or going down, you know, I'm fine.
All right, now are you telling me you giving them next week off, or are they come back on Tuesday?
Giving them off till Tuesday.
You're giving them off till Tuesday.
Yeah, giving them off till Tuesday, and the reason why is because we have the Troy 7-on-7 on June 9th.
Okay.
So we're going to participate in that, and I didn't want to have 3 days of practice going into, you know, a 7-on-7.
There'll be a lot of kids come back from spring.
So explain to people out there, Coach, real quick. I know you got to get to graduation. How does 7-on-7 work? How many players are you able to bring to a 7-on-7 event?
Usually I kind of pick and choose, so I'll probably bring about 22. 25, somewhere around there.
It's good for your corners too. Real good for your corners, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good because, you know, there's no O-line, D-line, and but they make you have to make the right reads. There's nobody putting pressure in the quarterback's face. But the downside about it, quarterback has 4 seconds to throw the ball with no pressure, so he has a chance to read every single thing. But you know, there's usually about I think 20 plus teams that are going to be in it.
And how many of these will you have this year?
7-on-7, I have, I'm going to 4 7-on-7s, and I have 3 OTAs, which are organized training activities against other schools.
All right.
So our summer is packed.
So you don't miss a beat. That's Carroll High of Ozark too, Will.
Yes, sir.
They'll be right there on your schedule again. Is that right?
Definitely. We have Carroll Ozark week 4, I think.
Yeah.
So we played them early this year.
Yeah, you gotta get some revenge. You got beat by them last year at home.
Yeah, we got beat by them with 6 starters out, and with that team I had last year, I could not afford to have 6 starters. You know, and look, we already was on the field. You
know, like I remember old coach said. He said, "You mean Johnson's in there? You know, so you mean Johnson's in there?" he ain't never played a down in his life.
Yeah, it was that game. Zion didn't play. Jawan, like we were just my starting right tackle, a receiver, a corner. We were just. Yeah. We were destined, and I hate to say it like this, but we were kind of destined to lose that game with how everything kind of transpired.
But hey, we this is another year, and that's what's so great about it. Yeah. Now you did tell me that, you know, of course they're gonna go back on the field on Tuesday, but you told me the 4th of July you're gonna let them off. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get them off. I'm gonna let them off. I'm not gonna hold them hostage on the 4th. So yeah, we're gonna give them that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off. I'm gonna give them a day to recuperate too. So we're gonna give them that Tuesday off too after the 4th of July.
Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me for laughing, but you know, these kids, bless their hearts, that they have to work so hard, don't they?
Yeah, they have to work hard. You know,
but the rewards are great, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Football's year-round. People don't realize it anymore. It's year-round even in high school.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is. That's why we're talking about it. You're right.
It's all the time, you know, and we'll have a 7-on-7 that week as well.
Hey, listen, let me ask this now. You're going to make sure that they get leftover peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, we're going to have that on.
They'll always have something to eat, won't they?
Every day. I'm going to buy a big jug of peanut butter, big butter jelly.
I like it.
And loaves of bread. So
that's
that,
right.
You know, they want to, because I'll be there every day. So if they want to kind of just, you know, they need something to eat, you know, linger around.
Yeah. What I'm saying is sort of an energy. That peanut butter and jelly sandwich is a good energy.
It is. It's good protein after a workout as well. So, so we're on protein.
If you ever need somebody to come speak to them after practice and get them motivated before a game, I'm sure Mike Amos will drive over there and motivate Coach.
Hey, listen, I love it. I love it. I've already been out to practice, and I was very impressed with his practice. You know, nobody told you that I was coming or anything, but hey, I looked down there. I said, well, they are lined up straight. They're lined up straight, and it looked like they've got some depth, over 50 players, Coach.
Yeah,
and that's pretty good for the spring.
Yeah, we're probably with the 8th graders. All of them didn't come out because they had their game, but we're probably going to have about close to 70 players this year.
Mike, that's tremendous. That is tremendous. Mike is a player named Mosley. Tell us about him, Coach. This is a player that you don't know about, Mike.
Yeah, Stephon Mosley is a kid that he didn't play because he had to go to his aunt's graduation. His mom and dad wanted to surprise, you know, his aunt for their graduation. But Stephon Mosley is one of the hardest working kids I've seen. You know, his body has changed tremendously. He when I say attack the weight room, he didn't go in there and lift. He completely attacked it. And he plays receiver. He plays a little bit of safety as well. Hard-nosed, fast twitchy. He actually ran track too. He was on that state 4x4 team that placed 5th in the state.
Yeah,
so
that's right. Yeah.
So he's a track guy as well, and he caught a few passes last year, but this year is really going to be his year.
What I'm saying, I'm just saying that there's players other than
Jawan Boyd.
Jawan Boyd.
Oh yeah, we have
some more players out there.
Sounds like Charleston is getting depth, and that's what you got to have to win.
Yeah.
That sounds good for the future.
Well, Coach,
I know you got to get to graduation. I know Dad and I always appreciate you being loyal and coming on to the show.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Really do.
Yeah,
no question.
I appreciate the platform you guys have to give me the opportunity to speak on behalf of these kids.
Well, we know you know we are Troy Trojans, one and all. Charles Henderson High School of Troy, as Coach Hambright's going to have them ready for that season opener, and it's not that so terribly far away, is it, Coach?
Yeah, it's right across the street.
Have a good day and have a good summer.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Today in LA after this.
Hey, Jim Jackson, Bill Jackson Ford here in Troy, Alabama, where not only can you get the best price on a new Ford, but we can also get you exactly what you're looking for. We all know inventories are low right now, but don't settle for something you don't love. Come by Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, Alabama, and let us walk you through the retail order process and get you exactly what you're looking for. So come see us at Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, Alabama, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
The all-new Troy Regional Women's Diagnostic Center brings all of the latest and advanced 3D mammography and breast ultrasound services to the Troy area in our all-new outpatient facility. Dr. Lauren Thorington, along with our team of certified breast specialists, read your mammograms, which are performed by our registered radiologic technologists, bringing the best in women's health care to the Troy area. Troy Regional Women's Diagnostic Center.
I wish you could taste how much better food tastes when cooked on a Green Mountain grill, but I can let you in on the reason that's true. Our pellets contain water, so they create steam while you cook, keeping your food moist. Does a gas or charcoal grill do that? I think not.
Come and see us at Southern Grill and Patio, just off the square in Troy.
Hey, Jim Jackson with Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC right here in Troy, Alabama, and we've got some exciting news for you. After a 2-year suspension, GM has now reintroduced the sold order process on the redesigned GMC Sierra 1500 and Chevrolet Silverado 1500. So come in and order yours today and not have to wait 6 months to get exactly what you want. So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Antonio. Back to our show brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy. Remember, there's no deal like a Premier deal. Nobody can beat a Premier deal right here in Troy, Alabama. We appreciate them very much. Also, we want to mention our good friends at Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need, with 14 locations throughout Central and South Alabama and parts of Columbus, Georgia, and also are great supporters of our program, and we appreciate it. And of course, my buddy at the drugstore, I need to tell him that I'll be by for breakfast in the morning. Joe Watson, and he listening to us on his show today, or on his great drugstore, and an outstanding place to eat breakfast. I talked to Jason with the Premier the other day, and I said, where are you going for breakfast? He said, you're the one that gave me the deal on Brother Best.
You talking about Bird's Drugs?
Yeah, what I'm saying, I told him, I said, there's 4 or 5 real good places to eat breakfast, but I recommend, and he said, you recommended Bird Drugs, and that's where he eats. He loves Bird Drugs, and they're great breakfast.
Well, Troy basketball is benefiting from the transfer portal. Of course, we talk about football all the time, but Coach Cross, let's just say he's got some connections in basketball. He coached at Texas Arlington for, 20 years, assistant coach, head coach, and he's been at Troy for, 3 now. But he's brought in a starting guard from Georgia State, which is a great basketball program in the Sunbelt. A guy named Nelson Phillips is now playing for Troy. He averaged about 8 points a game last year in the Sunbelt, but was the leading three-point shooter on the team. 6'3", 180-pound guard will be coming to Troy. So that's a big pickup there. Georgia State won the league last year, like they have many times. So a guy that can really shoot the three. So that's going to really help Troy a lot.
I know it. That is wonderful.
Then Troy also picked up another kid out of the transfer portal from University of Texas San Antonio. They picked up another guard, so I'm guessing Troy has lost their starting guards, I guess.
I don't know.
Darius McNeil, 6'3" guard, Houston, Texas, University of Texas San Antonio. He was a starting guard at UTSA, which is another good program out of Conference USA. Troy got a transfer from Conference USA and a transfer from the Sunbelt. And this guy's a good three-point shooter as well, also a good guard, good defender. Averaged 10 points a game last year. So, these are 2 really good guards. I don't know what's happened to Duke Miles. I don't know if he's not on the roster anymore. I don't know if Duke Dean's on the roster anymore. Both those guys did not play in the CBI tournament. You know, Troy got in postseason play down in Daytona Beach, Florida, and neither one of those guys played in that game. And I don't know if those guys are still on the roster or not.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. But now, how about this?
So, I mean, for him to be able to bring guys
Steve,
to the Sunbelt is really, really a good sign for our program.
Steve, bring Forrest Lee on for us, please. Forrest Lee has joined our show this morning. And
I saw where Bill had to leave, so I said,
there we go. There we go.
I was cooking cakes.
Brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Looking for a career in the trucking industry, ladies and gentlemen. No better place than Wiley Sanders Truck Lines right here in Troy, Alabama. And my man, Jeffrey Bennett, and class operation. Mike, I hear that you get a lot of their advertisement down there in Florida. And it's first class, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey Bennett is a guy that was made for television. I mean, he is a TV personality and a great guy, and you know, a great leader of Wally Sanders Truck Lines, and I mean, has a passion for it. And of course, you know, we appreciate Wally Sanders being a sponsor, and Steven Sanders and Kenny Campbell, one of your dear friends. All these people we know very well. You know, it's a big part of the community of Pike County and Troy, and Wally Sanders Truck Lines.
Mike, you're talking about the transfer portal with Alabama picking up that quarterback commit that decommitted from Texas A&M. The sweepstakes of Arch Manning, that may change a little bit, hasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you would think. This kid originally had signed with Texas A&M, and then ended up decommitting, and Alabama picked him up. He's a 4-star quarterback out of Louisiana, and I would think now that Arch Manning probably is leaning another direction for Alabama to offer this other guy.
Well, tell us about this other guy. Did this happen just recently?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
And this guy's the real deal?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
what is his dimension? Is he a big kid or what?
Yeah, I'll have to pull it up. I'm looking at Troy. I'm trying to figure out what time Troy's going to play baseball tomorrow. So
I know exactly what time they're going to play at 9 o'clock.
So they're going to play at 9 o'clock?
Yep, Friday morning.
TroyTrojans.com is not posting the new schedule, so I'm trying to figure out when they were going to play.
I'm almost positive it would be 9 o'clock Friday morning.
Another horrible start time, 9 a.m.
I know
on a baseball game. I just can't believe that.
And playing a team like Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, Alabama's signee is Eli Holstein, is the new quarterback that signed with Alabama. Alabama kind of got him to flip from Texas A&M, who he had previously had committed to. So he's a quarterback that's from Zachary, Louisiana. He won a state championship last year. His team went 15-0.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
He's a guy that can run and throw, but it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what happens with the Arch Manning sweepstakes. I was really hoping Arch would go to Alabama, but I don't know if they'll do it now because Alabama's also got the 5-star the Simpson kid that's on their roster too, whose dad played at. That dad was the head coach at UT Martin.
Yeah.
And then you got the Milroe kid out of Texas that a lot of people think he's going to be better than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So I don't know what how many quarterbacks you can play on a roster, but Alabama's got a lot of them already.
You would think he'd go to Ole Miss, wouldn't you? That's the place that a Manning ought to go, is to where their stomping grounds is, and that's Ole Miss.
His other two are Texas and Georgia, isn't
yeah.
He really likes Smart in Georgia.
Well, they said Matt Luke was offensive line coach at Georgia, the former Ole Miss coach, and Cooper Manning and Matt Luke were best friends, but Matt Luke has left Georgia, so he's not there anymore. So I don't know if Georgia would be in the mix as much or not.
Where did Paul?
Let's just say this: they can sign Arch Manning, and these other guys will probably transfer somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's the way it works.
Yeah, that's amazing.
The pasture is greener on the other side. Everybody's jumping.
Yeah,
it goes everywhere, back and forth.
In fact, they will be back in school before most people will. Alabama will. In fact, I want to say they're back in school next week. They had earlier graduation. Isn't that right? some of these schools have an earlier graduation, they get the jump on the rest of them.
Right. Well, if you want to play.
Former Floribama co-owner Joe Gilcrease has died, Dad. Is that a
Yes.
good
That he used to own Floribama, and he's directly related to the Gilcreases here in Troy. I think they were cousins.
Yeah, I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, and he's the one that kept the Floribama going, and Dickie Gilcrease and Joe are cousins, first cousins, I want to say. And Dickie Gilcrease, is the president and CEO of the WTBF radio.
Yeah, the guy that's over entertainment and food and beverage down there is a good friend of ours. Your Pie Cap brother, B.J. Parnell.
Yeah, where's B.J. now?
He's over the Floribama as far as the entertainment and food and beverage.
Well, I tell you what, he's a great guy, and I was wondering where he showed up. He also was in sales, beer and wine sales for a long time too.
Yeah, he worked for Sim Bird for a good while.
That's right. Yeah, the late Sim Bird.
The with Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
One person I'd like to mention is Joel Watkins. He died in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah, I remember Joel.
His brother, one of his brothers is Paul Watkins.
Yep, that's right.
Him when I was a little boy. But,
that's right. Good football
Joel
player.
Watkins family. And I know there's many more in this area. There's another fella, Ben Wales. He has Troy ties. He's buried at Elam Baptist Church, but he was a young man that died in Vietnam. He left 3 children, and I can't remember the side of the family that he's kin to here in Troy, but he's buried at Elam.
Of course, Robert K.T. Cole comes out of the great veteran of the war, and great Trojan, and just a super American. You start thinking about these guys, and hey, I played football, big deal. This guy right here played for the United States Marine Corps. Those are the real men,
Right.
That gave it their all for their country.
All right, Dad. Here's your Sunbelt baseball tournament schedule. So tomorrow, if you went to Montgomery, you can watch Troy Coastal Carolina at 9 a.m. That's the first game. The second game will be Georgia Southern 38-17 against Appalachian State 20-32. So you got to expect Georgia Southern to win that game. Quarterfinal game, you got number 4 Louisiana Lafayette against number 5 South Alabama, and then quarterfinal game, the last game of the day at 7:30 p.m. You got Texas State, who's phenomenal this year, 44-11.
Yeah.
Against University of Louisiana Monroe, 20-34. So that's the 4 games you can watch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Up in Montgomery.
So it'll be 4 tomorrow, 2 Saturday, and 1 on Sunday.
And Troy, Johnny Williams is putting this thing on for he heads up the Montgomery Sports Authority, and he also heads up the bowl. And I want to let you know this, Mike. Johnny told me this week that his bowl game, the Camellia Bowl, which usually is played on Christmas Day. Right, they moved it up a little bit. They're going to play on the 27th. So it's not going to be on Christmas Day. It'll be 2 days after Christmas that the Camellia Bowl is going to be held, and I think that's real good for his bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Johnny Williams. I mean, all these players in town, all these fans in town, all these coaches. I mean, Montgomery offers a little bit, but they don't offer a whole lot for these kids to do at night.
Yeah.
These kids didn't have anything to do last night, probably tonight. I don't know what they'll do.
Mike, let me tell you something.
I would imagine Coach Scholar Meade has got Troy staying back in their own rooms and own apartments and houses. I imagine they're not staying in Montgomery.
Ladies and gentlemen, we almost lost our head baseball coach, and I don't mean that. I'm being facetious, but at the same time, he got hurt. Tyler Skylar Mead was doing batting practice, Mike, and got